All right, guys, thanks for making some time to learn about electrical vehicle supply equipment, also known as EVSE and the Leviton offering. We'll talk a little bit about market size. As you can see, the top left, it's a $7 billion market today, $100 billion by 2040. There's an estimated 27 million EVs will be on the road by 2030. So what that does is it requires a 10-fold increase in the EV charging market to meet the demand. Okay, helping that out is some key legislation that was passed in 2021, the bipartisan infrastructure law. We'll help out and talk a little bit about. And then when you look at the bottom here, workplaces are expected to be the fastest growing market segment, plus some apartment buildings too. So a couple of factors driving the growth naturally is government incentives on the federal and state. There's websites there that can help you. Infrastructure and the Jobs Act incentivize domestic supply chains for EV marketing materials or market materials. Consumers, point of sales and tax incentives, grants to build a national infrastructure of chargers. They want to replace 50,000 diesel trucks, electrify 20% of the yellow school buses, and then electrical fleet of the Postal Service, those little Jeeps they drive around in. Talk about the product offering. Here's our portfolio. We have a standard series, which you can see right here. Okay, that's standard. We have a smart home, and then we have a pro, which includes management software for public use. The standard series, 32, 48, and 80 amp. We offer 40, 60, and 100 amp breaker, respectively, the required 7.6, 11.6, and 19.2 kW output for use with the SAE J1772, which is the standard connector unless it's Tesla. And then there's adapters out there for that. The cable design prevents the cord from freezing and cracking in very cold temperatures. It's a NEMA 3R enclosure, so it's already set up for outdoor. Now, optional access control is kind of important. All stations come with an RFID disabled, but the ability to activate it. So in there, you'll get an administrative card and 2 RFID cards, and they can also be purchased separate. Once you slide that administrative card across the unit, you've activated the RFID. You can't unactivate it, okay? Just so you know. Okay, EV series, why My Leviton? It's a brand name you can trust, and it integrates into an existing My Leviton residence. Features and benefits, as you can see, it's an app on your phone. You can remotely stop and charge the unit, stop and start, okay? You can schedule charging, what days and times you want your vehicle to charge. The biggest benefit is you can see automatically charging during off-peak utility hours. So you can set that up automatically, maybe 8 to 2 in the morning every day, okay? And back up, Ronnie, one sec. And it still allows you to qualify for certain utility rebates by doing that, okay? And it does have an RFID access like we did on with this card, but on the app, you can turn that on and off, okay, on the app. EV series smart home, it's the same as the standard, 32, 48, and 80. We have a brand new plug-in, 40 amp. As you can see in the bottom right, that's the unit plugged in to our brand new 50 amp receptacle. We have it on display at our booth. You can see the receptacle, okay? So it comes with a 25-foot charging cord. It's adjustable from 16 to 40 amp. It features the NEMA 1450. Anybody knows what a 1450 is? It's a range plug, and a range receptacle, okay? Compatible, like we said, we have 2 units, a 1450R for indoor, and we have a 1450W for outside, okay? But there is an important note. 40 amp is the max amperage allowed on that 1450 receptacle. Right. There you see, there's the compatible ones. Like you see, there's a little car insignia on it, so you know it's for EV charging. Okay, so like we said, it's a 1450R and a 1450W, which represents the actual NEMA configuration number. It's designed to withstand longer charging times and higher frequency of insertions and withdrawals. It's constructed of a durable, high-impact nylon, so if that once it's plugged in, you're plugging in for hours, naturally you're going to build up some heat, and that nylon will hold that heat. Won't melt it like it would on a standard range receptacle. Okay, pressure wire connections are full contact with the conductors. Features heavy-duty, high-performance copper contacts, accurate, efficient wiring with IDs marked. You can torque that down to 75 foot-pounds. So it'll be a very secure, tight connection. EV Series Pro, this is charging management via 4G. It's the same type of unit, okay? 48 and 80 amp only available on this. Okay, it's partnered with Amp Up charging software, and we'll talk about that a little bit. The stations are networked with 4G cellular connections, so it's a benefit in applications where you might not have a strong Wi-Fi signal, a parking garage, or certain areas that don't have a strong Wi-Fi. It's available with and without an LD screen, as you can see there with the LD screen. The LD screen will show you the output of the charger, connectivity status, but it's not an interactive screen, okay? And there are several local requirements depending for LCD screens in certain applications. Now, important point here, Leviton is only selling the hardware. Okay, the station owner will be responsible for purchasing the software package through Amp Up with a QR. Now, as you see on that unit, on the bottom left is a QR code. That stays on there, that's how you access, okay? So the process for the installer is he registers the chargers with Amp Up software is the responsibility of the installer. Okay, then there's an install quick guide, and the guide will be tapped to the front of the EV charger. Okay, here's the process. After installation, you'll scan the QR code to begin the process and enter the basic information. Installer contact info, address, the model type, the site, and the site host contact information, which is very important. Okay, then installer verify, go back, Ronnie. Installer verifies the EV chargers. After each charger is registered and powered, the installer will receive an email confirmation. Okay, he can also scan the QR code again to confirm that it's connected correctly. Okay, then the site host selects a software plan. Amp Up will automatically contact the site owner because that information was already entered when you did the scan code, okay? They don't have to do anything, but it gives them that option. So there are 3 software options, okay? You have a starter option, which is basic analytics and reporting, driver reservations, RFID card, location access control, driver support. Then you go to the core plan, which is the most popular, and it's everything in the starter plus revenue collection, direct deposit, driver access, multiple site management, okay? Then the last one is the Pro, which is everything in core, plus you get some tiered pricing, time of use rates, time-based access control, session limits, okay? And what happens is if somebody's charging and they're done, okay, it'll recognize that and send that guy a text saying, hey, you're done charging, please remove, or else they can add fees on for as long as you're there. So that incentivizes the guy that's charging to disconnect and get out so somebody else can get in. Yeah, they charge waiting times. Go ahead. Okay, driver interaction. Driver access to the stations via the same QR code that's on the front. For paid use stations, driver can pay via web browser or the Amp Up mobile app. And mostly everybody is using the mobile apps on this anyway, okay? Back up, Ronnie. The QR code will direct drivers to all necessary information, including pricing, access control, time of use restrictions, and driver support. So everything works off that QR code that's on the unit. We'll talk about some accessories. Here's some accessories that we have. Naturally, an EPD1, a single mount pedestal. We have a dual mount pedestal for front and back. You have the hook in case you have it in your garage, you want to hang the wire. We have additional RFID cards, which I did talk about previously. We have a dual mount side-by-side retractable cord management pedestal, if that's needed. Okay, so people aren't throwing the cords on the ground and leaving them there. somebody runs them over or somebody tries to cut them. Okay, then we have an electrical vehicle foundation. So this is for direct burial. Okay, so it eases it even more. So you follow the instructions, you bury that in the ground, you run your conduits in and out, you mount your unit on top. Ease of installation. Go ahead. Things to consider. Does your local, state, or federal government offer EV incentives such as tax credits, reduced rates, HOV lanes, tax breaks, rebates, purchase grants? Okay, are there any local EV-ready, EV-capable codes that you should be aware of? Okay, but here's the biggest tip. If you go to leviton.com/EV rebates, you can see the rebates and incentives that are in your area. So whether it's Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York, Connecticut, all that information will be on the Leviton site, okay? Here's something very important, EV Pro Contractor Certification Program. And you see on the right says Leviton EV Pro, Leviton Certified EV Charging Installer. It's a free program geared to you guys, the installers and the contractors, okay? It's designed to make their business become a recognized expert an electrical vehicle supply equipment installer. It just consists of some online training courses through completion. They're probably 10, 15, 20-minute videos you got to watch and go through the program, okay? Something the guys are already aware of because you guys have already probably installed some of this. Okay, then once you get that, you get a listing as a certified EV installer on the website. As you see on the right, when somebody brings that up, all those little flags there, balloons, click on it, it shows you the EV installer that's certified by Leviton in your area. And that's you guys, okay? And then it gives you also access to digital marketing assets, code updates, rebates, and incentives, okay? Another thing you want to, when you get involved in this, you talk to your customers, the most important thing is to make sure their load center is up to date. Because a lot of people want to buy it, you get into their house, they have a 100 amp service and it's maxed. And you got to put out a 40, 60, or 80 amp breaker, you can't do it. So that's what we did a car show a few years ago. People weren't really aware of it. So you want to let them know about that. And then we have a load center to go with it, can tie into the smart breakers that ties into this. So we got a complete program for the home, whether it's devices, load centers, and now EV charging. One-stop shopping, one-stop location.